We're beginning this trip in Austin, which has been described as a living ghost town. Its population has dwindled in recent years to fewer than 200 permanent residents.
We meet up with Dee Helming, a longtime Austin resident, business owner, and proud advocate for the recreational opportunities in this region.
Hi, Dee.
Hi.
Good morning, Dee.
Good morning. How are you today?
Doing well. It's nice to be back in Austin. We came here for our very first show many years ago, and so we're happy to be back.
Good.
Well, and what are we going to do today?
We're going to do the Goldventure Loop, which is one of our bike trails, and it's also accessible for ATVs, side-by-sides, high-clearance vehicles. And we go up over the top, we'll look down into the valley, and then go down into Birch Creek.
Sounds beautiful. Is this our ride today?
This is our ride.
Well, this will be fun. We'll be able to explore it together that way.
Yes.
Cool. All right.
All right.
There are a number of access points to join the Goldventure Loop Trail. The one Dee is taking us on carries us past Stoke's castle. It's more of a tower than a castle, and that's because it was modeled after a medieval tower that railroad mogul Anson Stoke saw on a visit to Italy and wanted to replicate. The Stokes family built this, but they lived in the East and only used the building for a short time in 1897. Other than that, it's been unoccupied and in disrepair, but it did make the National Register of Historic Places in 2003.
At this point, we have a choice between a more graded trail that's passable by full-size vehicles or a rougher, less maintained shortcut. I'll give you one guess which way Dee takes us. As we rejoin the main road and head further up into the hills, Dee tells us that this wide road was once even wider to accommodate mining trucks, and that after the life of the mine they narrowed it, built new berms, and replanted native plants to look natural. The effect is so good that I never would have suspected it.
Along the way, Dee points out a spot named Maggie's Ridge, named for her mother-in-law. After just a few more miles, we reach the top. What a view. This is a great spot.
It is. It's amazing out here. This is the Reese River Valley. It extends clear up past Yamba. When you look out there, you can see our airport. Then right down here is the Carter Ranch, and over here is the Home Ranch. All the crop circles and stuff you see out there are hay farms. We grow the best alfalfa in the world out here in central Nevada between us and Eureka. The hot days and the cold nights give you high protein content, and the hay is normally sold 2 to 3 years in advance.
But you can keep track of everybody from up here.
I know. I mean, just see them for miles and miles.
Just breathtaking.
So how many miles of trail are out here?
Well, there's thousands of miles of trails out here. In this particular area, there's no proposed wilderness area, so everything is open and people can ride on the trails. It's all scenic, it's gorgeous, it's all uphill, downhill, and it definitely gives you an adventure. The Goldventure Loop is 26 miles, and the elevation of it goes from about 6,300 to 8,700 feet. The highest point of it is right up here. On our Austin Goldventure brochure, we have a map that shows 6 different variations of the route that you can take, and they go anywhere from 12 miles to 60 miles, I believe. Going on these different roads, you can end up in all the different canyons.
And you can mountain bike or hike?
Mountain bike, hike, ATV, horseback.
Do you think you've done all of it?
No, not even close, and we come out a lot. 2 of the best routes that we have here is the Austin Goldventure Loop, because it drops down into Birch Creek, and that's beautiful. And the other one is what we call going up over the top, is Big Creek down into Kingston.
If all the views are this pretty, I'm excited to see more.
We move down the road and pass the site of the former Goldventure mine. As we drop down the backside of the mine, Dee points out an example of reclamation.
This is a satellite pit. That's the backside of that mine over there on the other side that we saw. They called it that because it was just like this little area where it was just one little pocket off to the side. It was called Austin Goldventure. It only lasted 3 years. I don't know if they actually ran out of ore, or if it was just too hard at that time to get the ore out of it. The satellite pit was one of their richest spots where they pulled it out.
So that's actually the natural color of that,
Yes.
that ore.
Yes, it is.
I would never have guessed. It almost looks like it was burned to me.
No, that's the natural color of the silver ore. Because silver blackens.
So we're seeing what they were actually looking for as they dug into the mountain.
So what happened to all the gear?
When they closed the mine and they started doing the reclamation, they tore all the buildings and everything down and went ahead and recontoured the roads, put a lot of it back, seeded it, and just turned it into what it is now. To look at it, other than just like the satellite pit or the other side, you would never know that there was a huge gold mine here at one time.
It's a real interesting mix of wildlife and beautiful landscape and then a little bit of mining history too.
Right, exactly. They claim that this is one of the best examples of what reclamation can do for a mine.
And now it's just so quiet. All I hear are buzzing bugs.
Yeah.
And some of the birds.
And the birds. And butterflies everywhere.
Yeah. And you got the wildflowers still blooming.
And then this canyon behind us, which canyon is this coming toward
That's
us?
Birch Creek. That's the mouth of Birch Creek.
Okay, so and then that goes along
Right,
behind
we'll
us
go
down here?
on down Birch Creek, clear down through a few creek crossings.
Oh, that sounds fun. We continue along Birch Creek and enjoy the changing scenery as we make our way north along the canyon floor. Most of this loop is in National Forest land, so it's important to be respectful of the landscape and stick to existing roads when you're out here.
Well, Dee, that was quite a little path we just came through. We saw the beautiful aspen trees and went into the creek, and then we got wet. Thanks for the splash.
That was so much fun.
That's pretty great.
No problem.
What a fun experience coming through here, and I can only imagine that in 3 or 4 months it'll be a totally different appearance, and 3 or 4 months after that it'll change again, and every time you come through it's got to be totally different.
Yeah, in the fall, in about October, the colors from the aspens and stuff will be amazing up here.
And it is, I mean, it's gorgeous right now, but I imagine with the wildflowers and early spring, it's got to be fabulous.
It is. This whole meadow is purple. It's just beautiful out here.
Thank you for taking us out here. You really helped us make this happen. From here, which way are we going? Back to Austin, right?
Yep, we're heading back to Austin. And we're going to go over this direction and continue four-wheeling up and around.
With so many miles of trail in the Toyabe Range, you can have a new experience every time you visit. You can find maps of this and other trails at austonnevada.com.